petri dish, the petri dish, the petri dish.
This is
The petri dish, the petri dish, the petri dish. This is the petri dish. There's something growing in here, and today it's my fucking style, bro. My pigtails are off the chain.
Yes, that's what I was going to start with. Bobby, you got to tell us about these pigtails.
Today I was like, you know what? It's like 90 something here today. My swamp cooler can only do so much, and so like the singular ponytail situation was just like too hot on the back of my head today. Okay. So I split it into two to let that spot air dry out a little more.
Nice.
And so I'm rocking the pigtails, and they just happen to seamlessly blend in with my headphones.
Okay, yeah, and they just happen to be by pink and purple. So
this is just our new sly way of telling people, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you're missing out. But Spotify is also good too, because that's where the ads are. Please, for the love of God, listen to the ads.
Okay.
Navy Federal Credit Union needs you to know that they're here for you. So whatever's happening, I made 31 cents in March, guys.
Did you?
That ain't bad.
Hell yeah.
That's something. So
that is
listening to this podcast is directly a good. Thank you for being here. Tell other people. We do the internet things now. Oh shit, we got Reddit stories and we got games. We're like a real fucking podcast. One of these days we'll have guests again too. But guys, talking to people is just like,
it's overrated. Let's be honest.
But I'm all caffeinated up today, and I'm ready to do another good fucking podcast.
Oh, guess what?
What?
I have about $600 saved.
Yay!
Which means I can afford to get a Moog synthesizer now, and so basically, So I'm waiting on approval to buy that, and then there's gonna be beeps and boops.
I fucking love any sort of electronic instrument, but specifically like synthesizers. I've also been obsessed with trying to obtain a theremin for a fair price.
Ooh, okay, nice.
And I've seen some decent ones around $400, and I'm like, as soon as I have enough dumb money to throw around,
right.
Or if I sell this fucking drum set, which I'm still like, every time I think about selling it, I bust it out and I play it again, and I'm like, I gotta keep it around, so it's tough. But if I had a theremin, I would just be in here like, hey, guess what? Guess what's part of the podcast? Me going, woo, that's part of it now. New theme song, just all theremin, like the old Star Trek intro.
The petri dish. Petri dish. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You guys are going to get theremined up one of these days, and you won't know what to do. We're going to have a soundboard and a theremin.
Nice. Yeah. That'll be awesome. Yeah, but I mean, the synthesizer I want to get is Moog's Drummer from Another Mother, and its build is kind of like a drum machine synthesizer.
Oh, it's one of the modular units.
Yes.
So you could keep building if you wanted to.
Yes.
Motherfucker, do not start getting into analog synth shit. You will go far too down the hole.
No. Really,
build a whole ass wall.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do is, because I've been listening to Questlove, his book on creativity, I really just want to learn how to work the DFAM, and then eventually start DJing some, like locally. And that's it. Those are my aspirations.
Dank.
Yeah.
That looks like it would be a fun unit just to like have and then run it into like a digital interface, and then fuck with this analog beat maker through a bunch of digital effects and see what you could find. Oh,
yeah,
exactly. I could waste a weekend on that guy.
yeah. I mean, it sounds really good, and I'm watching YouTube videos. They've got YouTube videos where people do deep dives on it and kind of explain it, and it's pretty cool. It's got like two oscillators and then like three or four filters. It's got like a high pass filter, a low pass filter, and some other shit. Um, it sounds good though, man. It sounds really good, and it doesn't require coordination. That's the big deal for
Yeah,
me.
there's no
Is
interface to play. It's
right,
dials and
yeah,
switches. Yeah.
right, yeah, yeah, and that's the trouble I'm having with my guitar. I'm not gonna quit playing my guitar. Don't get me wrong, but as far as
Direct
more,
hand-eye coordination.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I want something that's requires less coordinated skill in order for me to access my creative brain. Um, so, anyways, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Hell yeah,
You know?
man. That's
Yeah.
that's a solid way to do it. I thought
Okay. Thank
when
you.
you were
Yeah.
initially telling me you were going to get one, I thought it was going to be like, was there a subsequent line
There
or the
is.
polyphonic line where it's just
Hmm.
like a like it's like 27 keys or like 25
Yeah.
keys and then like some switches. I thought you were going to get one of those, and I was like, he's going to be cooking up some new wave shit. Like it's going to be Jonathan's
Yeah.
just going to have a Oingo Boingo cover band. This is going to be dope.
Nice.
But I like that you're going down the beats
Yeah.
lane. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to start going down the beats, and then maybe getting a subsequent 25. But they're still very expensive.
Yeah.
Like the DFAM has dropped in price significantly to where it's like $600, which is like honestly for what you get, it's really affordable.
And here
You
we
know.
are right back at consumer watchdog Jonathan Allgoods. Now, music gear and food reviews.
Yes.
Gonna put them both together. Consumer watchdog Jonathan Allgoods, music gear and food
Watchdog.
reviews.
Watchdog. Yeah. Yeah.
He's here to tell you what kind of synths you're gonna buy after you're chowing down on a good pizza.
Yeah. And the thing is, I've got a I don't know what kind of amplification the DFAM requires, but I have my Yamaha 10 watt amp.
Nice. So yeah, that's something to run
Yeah.
it through.
Right, exactly. And it has a headphone interface. So
Nice.
I can just put my headphones on and nerd out with my beeps and boops and all my switches and swoops.
Now that you got that new place, I gotta scoop your address when we're finally off air,
Okay.
so I can send you some
Okay.
weird shit that I've got that I like.
Okay,
I don't have a
cool.
use for. I got too many noisemakers, and so
Okay.
I could
Oh,
send you some fun things.
okay.
I got a bunch of
Interesting.
little
Yeah.
things, and even just like extra cables and stuff,
Okay.
just for
Okay.
routing into the
Right.
stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll get you all set up so you can make the best noise you can make.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
up in the lab making
Yeah.
beats.
Yeah.
I've been making beats, doing more Sad Giants recording stuff. I spent a
Cool.
good part of yesterday getting
Yeah.
acoustic guitar tracks done. So I
Yeah.
need to do 2 more passes on one song, but I am all done with acoustic guitar other than that. So
Nice.
that was cool
That's
to kind of
pretty
like
good. Yeah.
cross some stuff off the list.
Yeah, that is good.
But
Yeah,
then
but yeah, just spitball on my own brain. I want to sample your vocals from the caveman video where it says "I'm a fucking caveman." I want to loop that. I want to
Do
loop
it.
that with some beeps and boops. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how to do this stuff yet.
I'll see if I can find the old raw track. I think I still have the raw vocal track somewhere I could send to you so you can get it without the without the music.
Okay, cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't as productive on music stuff yesterday as I was hoping because
Well,
I
yeah.
got invited out to the Don't Tell show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went to hang out at Don't Tell, and it was at Abby's 40 Mile, which is a new place that's there's an open mic there that Vicky runs.
Okay.
And they just started opening up their patio in the back, which is way better than being inside the bar. But
Nice.
you kind of have to battle with the downtown noise,
Yeah.
which is really tough. And last night, Don't Tell ran into just a little bit of, that noise from the city. There was like an Aces game going on.
Oh,
There was like a rooftop bar nearby that was just like blasting their music. And so like Andrea and Sarah were there handling it as best they could. Daniel Lowe, another local comic here, I think he's starting to take over some of the Don't Tell stuff too. So Andrea was hosting, and it was both of them opening up, and they did the job of just eating the hot plate of shit that is just an entire town trying to fuck up your comedy show. Yeah. Straight up in the middle of Sarah's set, a fire truck comes out of the firehouse across the street and is just loud as fuck. And she just ate it like a pro. And it happened right after she hit a punchline. Oh. So it was beautiful that she like hit a punch and then just like brrr, and then the fire truck started going. Everyone in the audience was like, hey, all right. It was such like a beautiful moment. And then they were loud for a long time. So Sarah was like crawling on the side of the building, trying to look into the street like, does anyone need help? It was so funny. So it's always fun to watch a master at work. So hell yeah. Sarah really handled the best of a worse situation. But luckily she went on long enough that all of the noise died down and they could bring up their feature and their headliner. Their feature was a dude named Andy Benedetti, who
interesting.
Yeah, he is as large as me. He's also 6'8". So yeah, when I showed up, Andrea was like, I've got a surprise for you. I'm like, I already love the energy of this show. Because we're in this backyard patio, it's summery, and she's like, oh, something comes from the wind. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? And this guy just comes breezing through, and I'm like, holy shit, I know my kind. Another giant ducks through a doorway into this backyard area. And she's like, look, another giant just for you. I was like, this is great.
Yeah,
she was like, hope that was a good surprise. I was like, that was the best surprise. I also love seeing other big men out in the world doing their stuff.
Yeah.
My other favorite thing, he had amazing giant jokes, just how the world reacts to you. Yeah. And also, none of mine overlapped, so I don't got to lose anything from my set.
Nice.
But goddamn, he had such a good. He had a whole good joke about like he doesn't have a micro penis, but it would be so much funnier if he did.
Okay.
And I was like, I've thought that. I'm like, it'd be so much funnier if it was just like, boop. Adult man, baby penis. It's so funny. Yeah. It's a great concept.
Yeah. Question about giantism. Do you have a form of giantism?
No, I never got like an official giantism thing, and I never got like pituitary tumors or nothing. I'm just like regular
You're just
big.
Yeah. You're just really big. Okay, good.
Just good. From the trees.
Okay.
And then the headliner that night was a guy named Nate Craig, who is a fucking master at the craft, man. Like he's Bill Burr's opener a lot of the time. Yeah, he's one of Bill Burr's like go-to guys, and I can see why, because he was fucking quick with it. Everything was just hot bits coming right at you, and it wasn't even like, sometimes you get a guy from the road and you're like, I can tell you've been on the road for a while, you're a little practiced, you're not really like engaging with the audience. He was not that at all. He was with everybody in the audience.
He was in the moment. And still put together.
Yeah, and he was still working with the audience, doing stuff that was fun. He wasn't like a crowd work guy, but he would like take beats to like talk directly to the audience. Mm-hmm. So like sometimes in Reno we forget what a pro can do, because we don't really get enough of them, especially at our level in these small areas. But to see a pro at work like that was just God. And like even just his jokes, they weren't hacky in the slightest, even in premise. He had a fucking bit about fire alarms that was so funny. And I'm like, who the fuck sits around being like, gotta write my hot fire alarms bit, so like,
yeah.
But it also like, he was really good at like expounding these small concepts into like larger things. So if anyone ever gets a chance, go see Nate Craig live, because he is a master at the craft,
Yeah. Probably, maybe I have to go see Bill Burr to see him.
Yeah.
Technically, I have seen Sean Patton.
Nice.
And I've hung out with Sean Patton post show. I was blacked out the whole time.
As you should be. I'm sure he loved it for you.
I hope he did. I was with a buddy of mine, and he was like, yeah, we saw Sean Patton, and I was like, oh, how did that go? Yeah. And he was like,
I can just imagine Sean Patton seeing you and being like, okay, buddy. All right, see ya.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, how did I behave? And he was like, no, you did good. You ate cake with him, and that was, apparently there was a cake.
That's good. It wasn't just like he was eating cake and you were like, can I have some?
I apparently held it together pretty good. But I don't remember shit, which sucks, because Sean Patton is, speaking of,
a legend.
Masters. Yeah. He is so good. He's so underrated. And
every clip online that I see of him, it's like it's a bunch of different bits, and it's all insane.
Yeah. It just Sean Patton is just a killer.
I need to see him live one of these days. Well, you know what time it is now, Jonathan. It's time for us to turn the judgment outward towards these fucking sycophants. That shit's hot. That's what we do now.
Is it going well? Are we getting views on?
I have no idea. I just like doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good segment.
It's also a thing that I do.
I didn't know.
It's also a thing that I do in my own time. Like, I just look at Reddit and I'm like judging people on the relationship subreddit, and then I'm like, I could just bring it to the pod where it should be, where all millennial Reddit content should be, on their podcast. All right. This one is, am I the asshole for pointing out that my boyfriend eats like the poor people from his country?
That sounds terrible.
Right? You're like, whoa, you're racist and classist, like, in equal amounts. It's like you're mixing a perfect soup of being an asshole already.
Yeah.
This person really is trying to justify hard. This is a long one, so let's see. Buckle in, Jonathan. Okay. My boyfriend grew up in extreme poverty, like living on a garbage site poverty. His mom managed to snag a foreign businessman, not particularly rich, but middle class enough, and when he was 8, they moved out. My boyfriend has horrible table manners for the country we live in. He chews loudly with his mouth open, not just a little bit, but fully open. He burps at the table. He farts at the table. He shoves as much down his face as he possibly can. He doesn't think about the fact that food is hot when it comes to the table. He just shovels it in. And when it's hot and burns his mouth, he points his face up, unhinges his jaw, and loudly hashashafashas, while thrashing around to the point where it looks like he is having a seizure. I swear, he exaggerates all his expressions as well. You can be on the opposite side of the room and clearly know if he likes or dislikes his meal, or if he has burped. Okay. When we first met, I was like, what the actual fuck? He told me it was cultural, and I just accepted it. Now, I don't mind when we're at home, even at a place like McDonald's. I can turn a blind eye to that. But when we have been invited to someone's house or we're in a nicer restaurant, people stare and people talk about him. I've brought it up a few times, but he does not care. However, for some ungodly reason, if he eats in front of his mom, he doesn't do it at all. He has regular table manners for the country we are in. He took me to visit his country for 2 weeks with his parents a few months back. I noticed that when we were in the poorer restaurants, a lot of people did eat like that. Nowhere near as extreme as him, though, but they did eat with their mouth open, spit bones and gristle out. My boyfriend stepped it up by a good few notches in comparison. At richer restaurants, he was the only one that ate like that. They were also staring at him. I don't know if it's just colonization or some other reason why the rich ate the way they did, but they did. My boyfriend does have issues with money. He gets stressed out by the fact that he isn't a millionaire already and that he isn't doing enough. He also wants the type of job where you go out on business trips and dinners. If you're going to do that, you need to be able to have proper table manners. When we went out for a trip, I mentioned it to him offhandedly. I got the impression that he genuinely thought I was lying about it. He wasn't happy, but it was a short and sweet type of conversation. A few days ago, we were sitting in a restaurant. In walked a group of people that obviously had a lot of money, and they were also from the same country as him. I assumed they were on a holiday or just visiting. He noticed them and pointed it out to me. He ate how he usually ate. When they got their food, I looked and saw they ate with their mouth closed, and I pointed it out to my boyfriend as proof that I was right. He was incredibly angry about it. I feel like I went a bit too far here. Am I the asshole?
I think this person is an asshole. I think the other person does have terrible table manners.
Yeah. I think it is funny because I'm like,
yeah,
you're an asshole for being like, you eat like poor people.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I understand where she's trying to meet what I'm assuming her shitty boyfriend is at, which is like, all he cares about is business and eating, and he's fucking up both of those badly.
Yeah.
Like, how do I convince him his table manners are so bad it's affecting his life?
Yes.
Other than being like, you eat like you're poor, so you're going to stay poor. You know, like, I get where her mind is working. But it's just a shitty way to think.
Yeah, it really is.
So it's just like, I would say, don't have him be your boyfriend. It sounds like he's gross.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend sounds gross.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
But hey, if you keep wanting him to fart right in your dinner, you can have that.
Right. Yeah, and if especially if he's doing it around some people, but not around others.
And it's fact he doesn't do it around his mom. He knows better.
Yes, he
does. And he pretends to her that he doesn't know what she's talking about. He's trying to like feign incompetence just so he can keep farting in her dinner. This dude sucks.
Yeah, he does.
I think she should have gone further, because she should have been like, you eat like you're poor because you are poor, and your mom tried to teach you better, and you're a liar. You know, like, she should have just fucking laid it on, because he is lying to her. So you're being an asshole, but this guy needs someone to be an asshole to him, and you need to go further.
Okay.
Because you rip that Band-Aid off, because either he's going to keep acting the same and you got to get the fuck out of there, or he's got to learn the way he has learned before, somehow, miraculously. We'll see how this one goes.
Okay.
Am I the asshole?
Wait a second. How are my podcast manners, Bobby?
Well, you aren't doing nearly enough chewing. Your podcast manners used to be way worse. There was so much chewing.
Oh, was there? Oh, shit. Okay. I didn't. Oh, yeah.
You used to love eating McDonald's directly into the microphones, and I'd be like, the audience isn't going to like that. Your podcast manners have gotten so much better.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah.
We'll have to talk about this one. Am I the asshole for telling my coworker to stop trauma dumping during lunch because it ruins my appetite?
Okay.
I, 29 female, have lunch in the break room with a few coworkers every day. One of them, Jen, 33 female, recently started joining us after switching teams. She's friendly and sociable, but she constantly brings up extremely heavy personal stories during lunch, stuff like her abusive ex, childhood neglect, a cousin's suicide, medical trauma, etc. The first time she opened up, we were all sympathetic, but it's now nearly every day. While I get that she's probably struggling, it's become really draining, especially when I'm just trying to have 30 minutes of peace in the middle of the workday. Everyone else either nods awkwardly or goes quiet when she starts. Last week, she went into detail about a miscarriage she had years ago while I was trying to eat a sandwich. I felt sick and just put my food away and told her politely something like, "Hey, Jen, I totally get that you've been through a lot, but this stuff is really heavy for a lunch break. Maybe save it for a better time." She got really quiet, then left. Later, I got a Teams message from her saying she felt shut down and ashamed and that I could have shown more compassion. A few coworkers think I was too blunt and that she probably doesn't have anyone else to talk to. Now I'm wondering, was I an asshole for prioritizing my comfort over someone who might be in emotional distress? Or is it fair to ask for boundaries during work breaks? Not the asshole. That lady's doing too much.
Yeah. I would say that's, that's not the proper venue for those things.
I would say she's nicer than I would have been.
Right.
And because she did show some amount of compassion. Some people aren't used to how bad conversations can go. You're starting at a 0. We're all just trying to have a 5.
Yes.
We need you to meet us somewhere in the middle at a 3. Yes. Maybe not the miscarriage.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe tell us a time your car broke down because you ran out of gas.
Yeah.
We'll still feel some sort of sympathy for you, but we also all have to live through the day.
Yeah.
Or the amount of people that I know that would have just told her I don't want to hear about your nonsense. Shut up.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
fair enough.
Not everyone wants to hear you talk at all sometimes,
Right.
So the fact that people are even allowing you to make noise in their general direction is sometimes more politeness than some people should be afforded. So I think people were giving her a lot of leeway. But no, this lady's definitely not the asshole, especially for the way she handled it. So
yeah. No, I think she was very direct and communicative. And maybe she waited too long to say that.
Yeah, because some people need to get shut down early or else they get too comfortable.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So I think they let the shit slide too far.
Yeah.
Save that for the therapy or the book club or the open mic.
Trauma dump on TikTok.
Yeah, on trauma dump on TikTok where you're allowed to have that happen.
Yes.
But if people are forced to all be in the same room with you, it's neutral ground.
Yeah.
You got to treat it as such. Now here's
these are some interesting ones.
I tried to pull some ones that weren't all just relationships where it's just my boyfriend's mother doesn't like me. That's most of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So this one I think is pretty cut and dry that the person is the asshole.
Okay.
But I think it leaves a lot to discuss.
Cool.
Because this one is also a hypothetical. Would I be the asshole? Okay. So would I be the asshole if I tell my friend to not expect us to remain friends through college? Already, I'm you're already overthinking.
This sounds like trying to break up with somebody.
Yeah, it's you're trying to friend break up with somebody, and they might be just we don't even need to do that. We can just stop talking. You know?
It's just little. Yeah.
I just graduated high school. And will soon be going to college, the same college that my close friend is going to. They're going to the same college. My friend, who I'll call Tony, has been a very close friend for about 2 years now and is very excited that we will be going to college together. He thinks that we'll be great friends for a long time to come, and one time he shared with me his dream that one day he'll be able to drop off his kids at Uncle Curry's, me, years from now. Yes, I know, this is weird. I am aware that people change a lot in college, and so do who they hang out with. All right, this is definitely a high schooler. I don't like this expectation he is setting that we will remain friends throughout college and life because I don't realistically see this happening. I dislike the pressure he is unintentionally putting on me, as well as the fact that he will probably be disappointed with the future. I know how I feel is valid, but how do I approach this? I mentioned in passing once to not hold on to the expectation that we will remain close friends, and he got upset. Is this just something I let be, or should I set a boundary here? If I do set a boundary, how could I best do this? Go get tested for autism.
What?
This is textbook autistic kid who hasn't been tried ever in their life in a real situation where they're how do I tell a friend I don't want to talk to them anymore? You don't got it. You just stop talking to them if you don't want to talk to them anymore, man. But this person has spent a lot of time talking to you, and the fact that you don't want to, that's on you. The fact that you're I am very valid, that's what you need to examine.
you're a dude trying to break up with a friend, you don't really need to do anything. If you don't want to be together in friendship, you will grow apart in college. You're overthinking the shit out of this and kind of an asshole at the same time.
This person's an asshole.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny that people will overthink these situations because of preconceived notions of how life events are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People think, oh, everyone changes between high school and college. And it's like, yes, because everyone changes all the time. You don't have to say, I'm going to college now, so I must change. Thank you, friends. Goodbye. You know, like that's not welcoming change. That's being an asshole. You can be like, sorry, friends, I'm busy now with a lot of college shit. I don't have as much time to hang out, but you don't just be like, and that's it for me, dealer. Enough friends. Goodbye. I'm going to be changed where all my friends will be hot ladies. You know, like, what the fuck does this person even think is going to be on the other side of them in college if this is how they treat their friends? You know?
Yeah. I think it's a rough. Weird Apatow movie, sort of. Yeah. You know, one of those movies where it's like, oh, like at the beginning of Superbad when they're talking about the pornography they're going to subscribe to, they're like, well, I mean, we'll be at college, that sort of, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know. Just be yourself.
Just subscribe to porn instead of breaking up with your friends. Pornhub Premium is cheaper than getting rid of your friends.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
All I remember is that they gave it away for free on Valentine's Day like 3 years ago.
Well, the thing is, in North Carolina, we don't get Pornhub anymore because of legislative actions. So I can report I don't know what Pornhub is.
Oh, that's funny.
I would have to get a VPN in order to make that work.
Hell a virtual peen.
Yeah. The internet is mostly porn.
Even the stuff that you don't think is porn, like that 5-minute craft Instagram is porn.
Yeah, it's
weird
all
fetish
just
porn.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's
most of Nickelodeon when I was growing up, secretly porn. For one weird foot fetishist fat old man named Dan Schneider.
Okay, what shows were this?
All of the live action ones.
Okay. I didn't. Okay,
I was not aware. They all included some like weird shit with like creams and foot stuff, and like children sucking toes.
Okay. Well, where did Mark Summers and the slime?
Oh, and Double Dare. Mark Summers wasn't a pedophile. He was like in direct competition with the other pedophile on the network. To like produce things, and he got pushed out, which is I think why he went to Unwrapped on the Food Network.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I was watching Mark Summers get slimed and Global Guts.
Yeah, so it was all the scripted live action stuff that was later on, like all those Nickelodeon live action ones that weren't competitions. They were anything produced by Dan Schneider. They were all fucking weird and gross.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fair. I mean, what Monsters Inc. was kind of weird and gross.
Was it?
The animation I thought was like kind of strange. I don't have any official it was about this interpretations. I just remember feeling uneasy after watching it. And the same thing with Tommy, the baby in the diaper.
Huh.
That was kind of weird to me.
Is that just like CGI uncanny valleyness?
No, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that combination of words you just said.
Oh man, uncanny valley.
I don't know, but what's her face was Angela. Was it Angela? Was Tommy's sort of anti-hero? It was strange. There's just like babies walking around in diapers.
The
Oh
uncanny
shit.
valley of things that are almost human, but you can't quite tell why they bother you because they're not human.
Oh,
Or like people do
huh.
their makeup uncanny valley style,
Interesting.
so they look extra non-human.
Oh,
But like
fucking
if you saw that
weird.
person, you'd be like, "Is that a robot?" You can't
Yeah,
quite tell.
yeah.
This makeup style.
That's that's just bad makeup. It's not a style. It's just people not doing their makeup good. Yeah, that's fucking weird. I'm not into it. I'm not into
Yeah,
it at all.
the
Yeah.
uncanny valley stuff I first heard of with the Polar Express movies
Okay.
because the animation
Sure.
just like wasn't quite good
Yeah.
enough. So that
Yeah.
and the Beowulf movie shortly after that
Okay.
were
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
things
That
where I
was
was just
weird.
like those are just dead-eyed dolls. I'm like, there's a
Yeah.
theory out there that the uncanny valley for recreating human faces is triggering the fight or flight response in human brains that makes us think we are seeing a corpse.
Ooh.
So we are seeing something that isn't alive anymore, and we are bothered by the fact that it is moving and talking and doing things because our brain is registering it as dead because of its like
Yeah.
unlifely lookingness, however we would say that with
Okay.
human words.
Yeah.
They don't
So
look
is there?
human enough to make our brains think they're alive.
Yeah. So is there going to be like a Walking Dead Uncanny Valley mashup?
Somebody's probably made some sort of sci-fi
Yeah.
horror uncanny valley AI zombie situation, and if not, that'll be
Okay.
a fun lane to explore of
Sure.
just like the
Yeah.
singularity happens and
And
robots and humanity
yeah.
mimic each other to a weird degree where
Interesting.
neither are
Yeah.
human nor alive nor dead.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I do all the voice work for my own mustache. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Gotcha.
Came out
Got
swinging.
him.
Just caught me out of nowhere.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Well,
That's
shit.
a good one.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't got no more stories. Anything you got going on, Jonathan?
Oh, not really. Well, that's not true. I'm listening to Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle currently.
Nice.
Yes, and so far it's a slow start. He's going into a lot of detail about things that are obviously going to become important in the future of the book, but it's a long runway. So anyways, I'm kind of slogging through it, but
Nice.
yeah. And then tomorrow I will go to my own writing class.
Yay.
Yes, and I'll type, and hopefully something good will come of that.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll be engaged in thinking, which is great for the brain, regardless of what the output actually is.
I'm gonna be fucking working. I think I might go to an open mic tonight. I thought about hitting one up because I'm doing a little bit of music stuff, but it should end before the open mic happens. And I drank a lot of coffee today, so I'm gonna need to burn off that energy. All right. Well, everybody, this has been the Petri Dish. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to listen to the ads at the end to help us reach at least 60 cents of advertising revenue by next month. Anytime you feel like telling people about the Petri Dish, we gain 1 more cent in our pockets. So we can't do it without listeners like you and listeners like you. And that's
listeners like you.
Just like 2 people. But shout out to you 2 people.
Thank you.
Keeping us afloat.